The Admissions Club was created as a soft place to land for students and families going through what can be a particularly stressful time in one's life, the college admissions journey. Hi, I'm your host, Elizabeth West. This podcast will feature inside information from my 10 years of college admissions experience and 25 years in higher education. Episodes are sprinkled with 80s nostalgia to connect with your students during that turbulent time we all experienced. We will learn together in fun and engaging conversations with guests who are key players in higher education and admissions, or they could be someone just like you going through the process of admissions. Whether you're a brain, an athlete, a basket case, a princess, or a criminal, there's a spot for you in the Admissions Club. Hi, and welcome back to the Admissions Club. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 essential questions you need to ask on college visits. And I like to ask these questions. They may make college admissions officers a little nervous, but that's okay because these questions might be minor or they might be deal breakers. And we need to figure this out before you make your college decision. So the title of this episode is Our Lips Are Sealed, because campuses might want to not tell you the answers to these questions. And it's not that they want to hide any information at all. They're just tough questions to ask, okay? So let's get started. The number one question, it's not really number one, but it's the first question you want to ask is there air conditioning on campus? And I get a laugh every time I meet with a student and I say, do you think that there's air conditioning on campus for residence halls? And they always say, well, of course there is. But you will find that a lot of college campuses may not have air conditioning. We're used to these creature comforts at home, but when you go to school, it's pretty different. So you need to ask. And I say, especially to my beloved Southern listeners, you really need to ask because I got to tell you, if I were looking at a college campus, no air conditioning would be a deal breaker. I do not like the heat. So figure that out. A lot of students want to ask if there's heat. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that there's heat on campus, but air conditioning might be something that they don't offer. That's number one. Number 2 is, do the residence halls or anywhere you go on campus, do they have reliable Wi-Fi? And again, this is a connection issue where you want to be connected with your family and your friends from home, and it may not be possible if you don't have reliable Wi-Fi. And there's a reason for that. There are some colleges where they're old. The campuses are old, the buildings are old, and they are not Wi-Fi compatible. So the signal just can't get in. There are other colleges where there's a lot of cinder blocks and it blocks the signal of Wi-Fi. So, that's a really good question, I think, because we all have things that we want to access, whether it be your phone or your gaming system or, whatever. And you want a reliable Wi-Fi system for that. So do they have that? The next ones are more important. Again, reliable Wi-Fi and air conditioning might be a little more passable, where you can say, I can deal without that. But when you are talking about registration issues, registering for classes, this is where the problems that are on campus may have a bad consequence, whether it's financial, whether it's time, whether it's graduation. This is what we want to talk about. So number 3 is, Are there any problems with first year students getting access to the classes they need, or are their classes mostly full by the time they register? So here's the situation. At some larger colleges, what happens is that they don't have enough courses offered for those general education courses that you take. So your first year classes or second year classes, they don't have enough space. So juniors are taking up those classes to get the classes they missed, and it becomes kind of an issue of a backlog. So you can't get into classes that are not only um, prerequisites for other classes that you have to take, but they are also classes that you need just for graduation. So you want to ask that question because the registration issues, or woes, as it will, they are not a minor issue. They could cause you to have your graduation delayed. They could cause lost time and money. So that's a question you want to ask is how easy or how difficult is it for freshmen to register for classes that they need? Number 4 has to do with housing. Again, this is one of those questions that is really important in the college visit. And it depends on the college that you go to, okay? So if you are visiting a small campus in a rural or small area, housing might not be as much of an issue as if you are looking at an urban area, a major metropolitan area, and housing is a very important issue for that reason. So let's talk about it. The question is housing guaranteed for first year students? And then you want to ask, is it guaranteed each year? You may not want to live on campus each year, but what happens is at some colleges where you go to a college and it is a major location, okay, major city, and you find out on the campus tour that they only have enough housing for 15% of their freshman class. Okay, so then you need to make some decisions. And these decisions are not only, okay, I can live off campus, I can deal with that. But you have to consider, wait, what areas are you going to live off campus? Are they dangerous? Or more often than not, they are highly expensive. So you are tacking that price on to the tuition price that you're looking at. So what you want to know is housing guaranteed for first year students? And is it guaranteed for all 4 years? If it is not, then you need to make some decisions and you need to calculate. You need to do some math because you need to figure out if you live off campus, what is the price differential of that? And what is the happiness quotient? I like to talk about happiness a lot. And when you are disconnected from that college experience from the very beginning, is that causing you to be unhappy at that college or university? So housing's a big, big connection point, but it's also a financial consideration. The last question I want you to ask has to do with the rules, okay? Because you're going to have to abide by those rules when you get to campus. So, what you want to ask is, do you have a strict code of conduct for students? And I want to tell you that this is in the news, okay? This is becoming an issue. Even the University of Virginia has started to look at their codes of conduct, and they are basically looking at them saying, are these too punitive? Are these too punishing to our students? Can we look at these codes of conduct and maybe consider, instead of dismissing students for minor violations, okay, not talking major violations, minor campus violations, do we dismiss the student or do we opt for a second chance approach and look at it as a teachable moment? I like this. I like this for a lot of reasons, okay? I was on the campus appellate board when I was in college, and we'd look at codes of conduct and violations of codes of conduct. And I can tell you that there are multi layers to the cases that came before our student court. I know from being in admissions and also having that experience of students coming to me after being expelled for a code of conduct issue, it is a hard road to be expelled from another institution and then try to get admitted to another institution. It's just a really difficult process. So, in my mind, I think that this is the right thing to do. The code of conduct, it can't be the same punishment for the same violation, right? So, I'm glad that they're looking at that. And I'm glad that they're seeing some shades of gray in that issue. If it is one of those situations where they do have a strict code of conduct and you might want to look at it, then that may be a deal breaker. Because if you are not able to have some amount of freedom at a college campus, that is definitely going to impact your happiness. So, codes of conduct are important and you need to look at them before you decide on either applying or absolutely enrolling at a college or university. So here I am, all gloom and doom, talking about these codes of conduct and yucky stuff like not being able to get housing. Let's talk about some cool stuff that's going on campuses, because I am totally excited to tell you about these wonderful aspects of university tours and visits. And so one of them is, do you know that there are little robots, and they're called bots? There are little bots on campus that will deliver food to residence halls. I think that is the coolest thing ever. Oh my gosh, I would have loved that. So at these colleges or universities, they're colleges of engineering, and their robotics programs are building these bots, maintaining these bots. So it is like a teaching lab. So they're building the bots, they're maintaining them, and then they're running them on campus to benefit the campus community and bring you guys really good food. And who knows what else? I don't know what else they deliver, but I just think that is amazing. On other college campuses, they're actually offering free laundry services. Okay, so some of my students said, does that mean that they'll do my laundry? Unfortunately, no. It's not that. It just means you don't have to pay to do your own laundry, which I thought was a huge bonus. I had to do my own laundry, and I sure had to pay for it. So that's another cool thing that's going on campus. Another one that I really love is that some colleges and universities are opting to partner with local farmers and do farm-to-table options in their dining halls. This is mutually beneficial for the local farmers and for the college campus. I mean, farm-to-table is cool. People like that. But it's also benefiting those local farmers that may be struggling. They are offering fresh vegetables, fresh produce, meats that are organic, and fresh milk. One campus even says, please try our chocolate milk. And I want to go there and try it. It's working. Their sales pitch is working. So anyway, I just want to tell you that the college campus visits are wonderful. They are fun. They are a chance to get the information that you need. But don't be so closed off to not hear the cool stuff that's going on and to really just enjoy that time together as a family. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Thank you for listening to the Admissions Club podcast. Be sure to check out our Admissions Club playlist on Spotify for all of those Gen X vibes. If you're looking for one-on-one coaching on the college admissions process, my company EWC Consulting can help. Email me at Elizabeth at ncewc.com. Check out our website at ncewc.com or follow us on Facebook at ncewc. All of those links are in the show notes. Invite your friends to join the club. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Can't wait to see you in our next episode.